Hello, everyone, and welcome to our lesson 1-3. We're still talking about the nature of entrepreneurship, but in this lesson, we are going to be talking about the types of entrepreneurship. So let us go ahead and get going. So first off, did you know that there are 9 types of entrepreneurship? These are the types. You've got your buyer, you've got your hustler, you've got your imitator, your innovative, your large company, your research, your social, your small business, and your scalable startup. These are the 9 types of entrepreneurship. We're going to discuss each one of these individually, but we're going to start with a scalable startup. So, what is a scalable startup when you're talking about entrepreneurship? Well, these are the startups that they intend to change the world. They are innovative, they're disruptive. They want to build a profitable business that can grow, and they attempt to create something different than what is currently available, something that's unique. They try to grow their business fast, and they often attract investors to help the business grow faster. These scalable startups also they take more risks. This is a big thing. When you're a scalable startup, you have these risks that you're going to take, but by taking more risks, you have the potential for greater returns when you're doing that. These scalable startup entrepreneurs, they have a vision for what the company can become and what impact it can have on society. That's where they're going with this. So next is a small business entrepreneurship. These are less focused on aggressive growth. Some examples are a plumber, electrician, a hairdresser, a landscaper, a lawnmower repair, and so on. They're often family owned, so you keep it within the family, and they're focused on serving the local community and on making a living. They work hard to save for retirement. They're often self-funded and or utilize small business loans to fund their operations. They focus on running a stable business and producing a secure and steady income. And they tend to take less risks than the other types of entrepreneurships. They aren't usually looking for ways to grow rapidly or even just grow at all, possibly. Okay, so now we're talking about large scale or large company entrepreneurships. Okay, these are startups who got bigger, a lot bigger. And how do they stay entrepreneurial once they get so big? Well, they find ways to stay current. And think about Amazon and Google and Apple. These are all large entrepreneurial minded companies that all started small, but they got bigger, a lot bigger. And the way they do that is they try to maintain an innovative approach and often hire entrepreneurs and acquire smaller companies to bring innovation with them. Next is social entrepreneurship. These companies are focused on creating products and services that make the world a better place. Sometimes they're nonprofit, sometimes they're profit, sometimes it could be a combination of both. Next are innovative entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs, they focus on innovation, making things better or creating new things. Think Steve Jobs and the smartphone. These entrepreneurs are creative and they are motivated, always looking for new ideas and inventions. They look for ways to change the way we go about our lives, just like Steve Jobs did. Next is your hustler entrepreneurship. These are the ones who have their nose to the grindstone. They're hardworking, they're bootstrapping entrepreneurs. They won't give up, they won't take no for an answer, and are always learning, willing to fail, and they apply those failures to future successes. And really, when you think about it, every entrepreneur has a little bit of hustle in them. Next is your imitator entrepreneur. This is kind of a cross between an innovator and a hustler. They observe other successes and they try to improve the products and services or to make them more profitable. Next is the research entrepreneur. These are more cautious at first because they want to improve their chances for success. They do lots of research and spend a lot of time in the discovery stage of the process. Remember, we've talked about the discovery stage. They also tend to rely on data and facts and history rather than their gut feeling or their feeling of intuition. Next are buyer entrepreneurs. These have accumulated wealth from their own background, or they have access to capital. They purchase existing businesses and use those businesses, and then use their business experience or their prowess to grow the business even further. So, can you think of examples of any of these types of entrepreneurs? Or I guess I should say, here's some examples. Can you say what type they are? So, Tom's Shoes. These guys are. This is an example of a social entrepreneur. Next is Tesla Motors. This is an innovative entrepreneur. And then finally, you got Amazon, Google, Apple. These remain entrepreneurial, even though they have grown to be huge companies. Okay, so just as a review, these are the 9 types of entrepreneurship: the buyer, the hustler, the imitator, the innovative, the large company, research, social, small business, and the scalable startup. And that really concludes our 1-3 lesson on types of entrepreneurships.